Hello, welcome. Dr. Sushma Singh this side. Today in Unit 23, Cohesive and Divisive Dimensions of Religion, let us start our lecture with topic rivalry, cynicism and integration. In all religions of the world, cynicism have arisen from time to time to fulfill some needs. If the followers of particular religious group feel deprived mentally or spiritually, they tend to break away from the rest and form a separate group. Charismatic leaders initiate mobilization of these discontented people into new religious channels. Disputes over doctrines, pressure from nationalistic or ethnic need, and also the march of time are other factors which have favored the formation of new sects. In Europe, the sectarian strife has adversely affected religious unity. To this day, the Northern Ireland has faced disunity because of hostility between Catholic and Protestants. In Netherlands and Germany, even trade unions in the industries are affiliated to the above two groups. In Islam, the Sunnis and Shias are the major sects, while there are many smaller ones. Nationalistic rivalries and doctrinal differences have led to a separatist tendency. While Egypt and Saudi Arabia are the leaders of Sunnis, Iran is the leading Shia center. In India too, there have often been hostile encounters among the Shivites and Vaishnavites, and the Sakta component among the Hindus. The Kumbh Mela festival is held periodically in 4 places, namely Prayag, Haridwar, Ujjain and Nasik. Previously, there used to be fight between the Nagas, mean Shivites, and the Bhagris, Vaishnavites belonging to different monastic affiliations, mean Akhadas. Although now the Mela is peaceful, there are underlying tensions between the different sects. These armed groups, namely Nagas and the Bhagris, were created in order to safeguard Hinduism against the encroachment from the Islam or Christianity. But they were often misguided by the zealots who provoked them to fight against one another, although they belonged to the same religious stream in Indian society. The religious secessionism have also inspired movements to integrate the belief system. In the West, it is known as the ecumenical movement. It seeks to bring together on a common forum the 3 major segments, namely Catholic, Protestants, and Orthodox Christians. It is also a response to the challenge of secularism. This movement not only focuses on the common spiritual elements in these different religious affiliations, but also seeks to provide a bulwark against growing asceticism in the West. In Islam, Sufism has brought together Muslims and non-Muslims who are inclined to believe in the oneness of mankind. In the North African states, Algeria, Morocco, and Tunisia, the official Islam and Sufism are often at loggerheads, but each in a way has integrated the believers. The official Islam had organized the literates, urban merchants, and administrators, while Sufism has a hold on the folk tribal groups of the rural hinterland. In India, Shankara took a decisive step in bringing together the sects under a common program for rebuilding the Hindu society. He enjoined upon the Hindus to follow Panchayana system, worship of 5 deities chosen freely by the individuals. He unified in his Samartha tradition the 6 sects, namely Surya, Skanda, Ganapatya, Sakya, Shiva and Vaishnava sects. He felt that such unifications were necessary to control the centrifugal forces. To this day, Samartha groups are found all over the India from Kashmir to Rameshwaram. Ramanuja preached Vaishnava Bhakti and drew followers from both Brahmins and non-Brahmins in Tamil Nadu. The great Bhaktas of the north, Nanak, Tulsidas, Kabir, Dadu and Raidas are well known for building up a spiritual fellowship. The highly charismatic Vaishnava Sant Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a massive following in eastern India, which included Hindu, tribal and Muslim. Swami Narayan in Gujarat has stated that he drew inspiration from the teachings of Ramanuja. He preached a Vaishnava doctrine which was noted for its puritanism. He carried forward the mission of Ramanuja by drawing into his fold a variety of castes, including the then backward caste of Bhatia, Lohana and Patel and the tribals. He conferred a high spiritual status on his followers by calling them Brahmanist saints. Vivekananda once remarked that all the followers of Nanak were Brahmins. The implication of this is that unlike the caste in a sect, status is conferred on the basis of merit. The message of sectarian philosophy is simple and clear. Indians need not destroy customs such as idol worship and caste. At the same time, attempts should be made to transcend our social barriers without renouncing them. In fact, the 3 noted Indian thinkers, namely Vivekananda, Aurobindo and Coomaraswamy, have stated that the caste system, which was based on mutual interdependence, gave stability to Indian society. The Indian need not discard the past, but they have to redefine it in terms of the present. Further, it is to be noted that while Vedas were accessible only to a few, the Upanishads, Gita included, epics and Puranas were freely accessible to most people. Common people in villages and towns across the country came to know about them through the itinerant religious preachers who gave an exposition to them in public. More than anything else, the Indians, Hindus, Jains, Sikhs and Muslims have been engaged in a tangible religious experience called pilgrimage. All through the years, the ordinary man, women, children travel across the country to visit a holy shrine or bath in a sacred river. The sacred rivers and places of the worship, temples, dargah, gurdwara are open to all, irrespective of caste or rank. During pilgrimage, the caste norms are entirely suspended. For example, when numerous people take bath in Ganga at Prayag or Haridwar or throng the place of worship, it is just not possible to identify them on the basis of their rank or privilege. They are totally unaware of differences in skin, color, gender or age group. They are in a state of Europea in which all participants appear to be equal. The temples at Tirupati, Vaishno Devi, Dwarka, Rameshwaram, etc. are entirely free for anybody to enter. The public places of worship in India, Hindu, Sufi or Sikh, have placed no restrictions on anyone. Victor Turner has used the term anti-structure to describe pilgrimage which suspends all structural barriers, caste, class and ethnicity. His view is that every society has anti-structures which absorb the stresses produced by the structures. To sum up the integrative enterprise, both in terms of the past and present, three levels can be identified. The intellectual orientation provided by the rationalistic Buddhism and Jainism. The emotional orientation by the Bhakti group, and the participatory orientation of pilgrimage. India is not only characterized by extreme ethnic diversity but also gives rise to countless groups and subgroups which are ready to break away from each other for even a tribal reason. But the above mentioned factors of integration have imparted a unique stability to India, especially in cultural terms. Breaking away is good to the extent that it gives rise to creative expression in religion. But integration is also good because it reinforces the underlying unity of the Indian nation. Even the hotly debated communalism has no real roots in the Indian culture. It has been clearly an offshoot of colonial policies which divided people through deliberative ideology or the ideology of divide and rule and administrative fate. Indian religions have only a tenuous connection with the Indian political projections, which appear to be Western inspired. To give an instance, RSS, which claims to be cultural body, has no genetic connection with the religious akhadas which have survived from the past. It trains its volunteer through a Western type of drill. By contrast, the modern training centers in Kung Fu, China, and Karate, Japan, have shown a remarkable continuity of the ancient tradition. The Shaloni temple in China, which was founded by the monk Bodhidharma in 50th century AD, has remained the center of Kung Fu up to the present. Although this country has been under communist rule for decades. Careful analysis will uncover the motives which have inspired disinformation about modern India. Here we want to close this lecture. Thanks for listening.